What's going on, guys? This is Burrs. I want to talk to you today about the Young Manufacturing National Match Bulk Carrier Group. This has been at the heart of my SPR build, and I've been using it for about a year now. I've been very happy with its performance, and it's beefier than standard carriers, and it's a huge improvement over standard carriers, and it's been a great performer. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and clean this because I just pulled this out of my rifle and it's kind of dirty. Let me wipe it off quick. Alright, so that looks a lot better. You can see, it's actually the first point I want to talk about is, this is chrome. It's chrome plated. So what you're going to get is a little bit easier of a cleanup, and as you can see, all I did was just take a rag over that, and you can see it cleans up rather well. So what you got here is a ½ an ounce heavier than standard carriers. And due to that, what you're going to get is, improved alignment and tighter tolerances, better lockup, and smoother operation is what they say. And what I've seen is, I have seen that compared to some other carriers I've used, some other bulk carrier groups I've used. And in a precision rifle like what this is in, you want to have that extra beef to it. You want to have that absolute, the tightest tolerances possible so that you get the best accuracy possible. And I've noticed with this, Young Manufacturing bulk carrier, this national match, that, that's been true. I've been getting, half MOA to 3/4 MOA, all day long on the SPR I built with this at the heart of it. And you really want to pick your bulk carrier group, very carefully when you're putting together an SPR. And for me, there was no other choice than this Young Manufacturing National Match. The name behind this part is Young Manufacturing. They, make some of the best parts on the market, and have one of the better reputations on the market. And what they do is they actually precision grind after this is heat treated, and what that will do is actually take away any imperfections that happen during the heat treating process. Basically just making sure that everything's accurate and straight. So that's the one thing that kind of differentiates them from the majority of the other companies out there who are making bulk carrier groups. So as you can see here, all the parts, they all clean up rather easily, due to the fact that they are chrome. And so you can see all the parts here. Here is the actual bolt, and as you can see, it as well cleans up rather easily. Of course, you're going to have those parts on here that you're going to have to pay a little more attention to, more than just wiping them off with a rag. But I've had no issues whatsoever. You can take a look at the lugs there real close, and you can see there's no cracks, there's nothing going on as far as wear goes. You can't really see anything being wore down. Take a look at the bolt face, bump the camera like a professional. You're not seeing anything, as far as stress fractures or anything like that. And that's the thing that you want to pay attention to. Every time you take your gun apart and you clean it, just pay attention to stuff and look to make sure that you don't have any stress fractures or anything out of whack. So that's one thing you want to pay attention to. Getting back to this one here, like I said, what I wanted was a precision bulk carrier group. I got that with this. You're gonna expect from Young something that you're not going to see with other bulk carrier group companies for the most part. They don't stake their gas key. Let me double show you that. They do not stake their gas key. And there's a ton of different write-ups out there, and I'll put a link down below to the one I have as far as why they don't do it. But it's some people can say this, some people can say that. It's proven that Young Manufacturing's bulk carrier groups work without them being staked, as you can see here again. And some bulk carrier groups out there that are staked work as well. So either way, they work for the most part. So I wouldn't worry too much about that if you're gonna have a heart attack if these aren't staked. I've had about 1,000 to 1,200 rounds through this bulk carrier group now. It's proven to be reliable. I haven't had any problems with lockup. I haven't had any problems with anything malfunctioning with this bulk carrier group. The one thing I noticed when I first got this bulk carrier group was how tight everything was. Honestly, I could barely get the cotter pin back into the bulk carrier, and even to this day, it's a little tight to get it in there. But that's what you want. You want tight tolerances, and like I said, this has been accurate. I wouldn't worry if you get this and you see really tight tolerances to where things are I don't want to say barely moving, but very tight. I wouldn't worry about that. That's what you want. Over time, it's going to wear down a little bit and get right into the proper rhythm of how things are. But like I said, from day one, I've had no problems with this. It's around $225 if memory serves me right, and you're going to get an exceptional bulk carrier group. It's going to last you for, quite frankly, a lifetime. So let's take a closer look at this. You can see just how perfect all the angles are on this bulk carrier group. The ammunition I've been using in this precision rifle for the most part is Hornady 5.56, their precision stuff, Corbon, a Sim 77 grain. This is their match stuff. Black Hills, Nosler, Atlanta Arms. Tons of different, match ammunition has gone through here, and it's worked exceptionally well. So there it is, quick and easy, quick and dirty, down and dirty, whatever you want to call it, review on the National Match Bolt Carrying Group. This is the complete one. I'll put a link down below to where you can find it. And if you guys have any questions or anything, let me know. If you guys run Young Manufacturing bolt carriers, go ahead and put a comment down below and let everyone know how they work out for you. And until next time. Later. Sharing it National Match Bolt Carrier Group. This is a complete package, and you can get this. What's going on, guys? This is